All right, traders, this is Blake Morrow, and you are listening to the Daily Roundup webinar. You know, I'm skipping a CME conference call right now for you guys. I was really excited about going on the CME conference, but I'm not going to. Just kidding, I'm really not. So it's good that I'm here. But jokes aside, we've had a lot of activity today. Obviously, equities are just, they're on fire. But in the FX world, really what's moving right now is the euro, and it's moving for good reason. And I'm gonna say, well, first of all, I'm long a lot of euros, and I bought the euro this morning at 108.72. When we got up to 108, basically 109, I sold like half of it, and then I moved my stops up to break even at, and then I got stopped out literally on the other half of my position, and then it took off after that, of course. But I have euro longs against the pound and the Aussie, and I bought some against the euro New Zealand. So I'm long euros in several different ways anyway. But one of the reasons why the euro has made a run higher is something that I've been really wanting to see, and I think a lot of the market's been wanting to see for a very, very long time, is more of a eurozone unity. And from what the headlines are looking like from Merkel is that there's steps being taken that are closing in on what would be called a Eurobond, basically, is where you have the Eurozone coming together, and those that are accessing the funds are not solely just responsible. It's the entire Eurozone being responsible. And that's been like the pushback, specifically from the Netherlands, from Germany. And so what you're seeing is more of this unity, and that's really put a bid underneath the euro, which analysts are coming and saying, well, it's barely a lot of money, but it's more of setting the precedence that the Eurozone is not so much an experiment, but it's more of a unification here. So that's ultimately pretty bullish the euro. So when you see the euro rallying the way it is, I think it's doing it for good reason. So for me, even though I'm not long the euro dollar at this very moment, I want to be long the euro dollar, and I want to be long the euro dollar if it can get a relatively decent dip, maybe back down towards the 108.80 level. I'm going to start establishing some positions, and basically something like this. And I'm just going to give you guys a rough idea because I've got to think it out as I'm doing it. If you're in the chat room, you'll obviously know, in ForexAnalytix chat room. If you guys are listening in after the fact, then you're not. But what I'm probably going to be doing is trying to establish a position somewhere around here, like this 108.80, 108.70, somewhere around here, with stops below this level down here. Okay, so you got to be fairly loose in your expectations, meaning that if I buy the euro here and I risk it here, I'm risking 100 pips. So you got to think about the position sizing, and for me, to risk 100 pips, I can't take a big position. What am I going to buy? 10 million euro dollar, and then lose 10 grand. Just if things come unraveled, I don't necessarily want to do that. So what I'm going to be doing is looking to stagger maybe some longs down here, with the overall intention of breaking higher above the 618, because if it breaks above the 618, that's when I think we surge for the 110 level and maybe even higher. Then we start making a run towards 112. Some of this resistance way up in these levels. So I'm just going to say once again that I think that we are really, this is some pretty bullish news with the euro dollar, and I don't want to discount that. All right, and like I said, I'm long some euro on different crosses now, and I'm not long the euro dollar outright, but I want to be. I'm sure some of you guys want to talk about the S&P, where we're at. One of the risks that I was talking about during the week ahead video is, the dollar would have gained strength if we were going down. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on however you were playing. I think the euro would have gone up in either situation. That's why I was long the crosses anyway. Is that the S&P looks like it's breaking out. It looks like we're going to take on that 200-day moving average. So the 200-day moving average comes in around 3,000, and we might even make it further than that. There's obviously a lot of positive news regarding this Moderna, possible vaccine that's going into clinical trials or stage. They got past stage 1, so going to stage 2, maybe skipping stage 2, going to stage 3. There's a lot of different talk that's going around. There's a lot of different therapies that people are talking about. But what gives us hope is that there might be some sort of therapy that will, some sort of therapy or vaccine that, might be in full production by year end. Now, the market's going to get excited about that stuff right now. But if you think about this, like, maybe we'll be back to normal life by, I'm going to randomly pick out a time of Christmas. Well, it's May and you're talking December. So you're talking about another 6 or 7 months of the economy being a little edgy. We're probably still going to have a lot of high deaths. People are going to be slow to come back to, like, who's going to go? I'm not going into a movie theater without a vaccine. I'm just not. I mean, you guys can, but I'm not. I'll let you guys be a statistic if you want to be. I'm joking, but you get my attitude here. I think that's a similar attitude that you're going to see with a lot of people. So we have this, this bullishness on, this resurgence and this, what should I say? How should I say? Like animal spirits. But I don't know if it's sustainable. So I think that, and this is something that Stelio said in the chat room, which I firmly believe could happen, is we squeeze the hell out of the market. We squeeze past the 200-day moving average, and it squeezes every short out of the market, and then we, start trickling lower for a while as the market comes to grips with reality that the economy will be slower to come back from a global economy standpoint. So anyway. The fact is the S&P is squeezing, and it looks like we might even squeeze even further. So just be aware of that. And with that brings in what? Brings in dollar weakness. And so that's where you start looking at the euro dollar and saying, okay, the euro dollar is here. Can we make it to the 200-day moving average? Can we make it towards 111? Or the 200-day moving average, which is right here at 110. Can we make it even higher or back up towards resistance around 111.50, 112? And my answer is abso-freaking-lutely. If the equity markets continue to surge higher, why not? Why can't the dollar remain under pressure? So anyway, just some food for thought regarding the euro. And then, you could take in all the you can take into the other, things like, the Aussie might continue to rally. But Brock made a good point. 100 million Chinese are back on lockdown. Yeah, I don't think the economy is coming online anytime in the near future. But you don't want to stand in front of the animal spirits that is unleashed in the market right now. Do I think we'll top at some point in the S&P? Yeah, like I said, maybe above the 200-day moving average when it squeezes out every last short. But that means that the Aussie could, come back to 67 cents. Kiwi could, we did this false breakdown here. Kiwi comes back to 62, maybe 63 cents. Quite possible. Dollar Canadian breaks through triangle support. We try to fill this gap down here at 134, right? Dollar Mexican peso trying to break down here. Maybe the dollar Mexican peso, comes back down towards where I originally thought we were going to go a week and a half ago. I thought we were going to come down here to 22 before bouncing. I think this is all doable, okay? And anyway, so with that being said, the euro, I think, is pretty bullish here. Looks bullish, all right? Keep an eye on the euro and especially the crosses. And, keep an eye on the market. The market looks like it, it's got that I'm going to rip your head off look in the equity markets. So, guys and gals, I hope you have a wonderful trading session. I'll see you in the chat rooms. For those of you that are ForexAnalytix subscribers, remember it's right here. If you don't know where it's at, it's this little button right here. But I'm already logged in, so that won't let me log in twice. So that's where it's at. And for those of you that are not ForexAnalytix subscribers, because you're listening to this almost 24 hours after the fact, make sure you sign up. It's only $1 for 10 days. All right. And make sure you download the mobile app while you do it. All right, guys and gals, have a great one. My name is Blake Morrow. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Thanks, Brock, and thanks everybody that's listening in. See you guys.